Okay, gang. Ladies and gentlemen of 30JK Nation, this guy right here, all the way from Oviedo, Florida, he has been on my show numerous times. I'm the announcer for most of his work. Queens, New Yorker, his flagship show.
I tell you, and you've had some very interesting guests on over the last 2 years. That I'm really surprised that somebody of your caliber who can get people on and able to talk with them, and I'm just impressed. I'm really impressed. One of the things that he is bringing up is an old show from 2 months ago, because the guy has obviously nothing to do. And you all know his name. I'm going to announce it. Charles W. Fitch of Canton, Michigan. Our cyber stalker basically has nothing better to do. So what does he do? He brings up an old episode of 30JK 3 months ago in October with Tara. He stalks Tara, sends her email messages day in and day out till she can't take it no more. Accuses me of scaring off the interviewee. No, you were there. And now is attempting to bring up another event because he's got nothing better to do. And if the supporters who are supporting me don't realize that there is an individual out there who's attacking me verbally and yet has made physical threats to do what he supposedly said he's doing to me, I can't trust anybody anymore because I don't know which way people are going. And we all witnessed that with Keith Detweiler because Detweiler on the last day of last year made a video telling me to back off. I'm like, of all the people who I spilled my guts out to with the truth, again, how is it that this son of a gun basically, would turn the tables on the truth, for that matter?
And we got Chris Kennedy and Jason Decanio here on 30JK.
I'm going to add to this. Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and give you some of the threatening comments that he's made in the last, I would say, 2 weeks. So that way, in case he's listening, and, the man has no balls to call in and debate what he's been saying. As you all know, I have a Patreon account, which is hopefully going to profit off of the supporters here. And what I want to mention is, as I've already mentioned it on the Queens New Yorker, is I have pledges that you can pledge every month from $5 to $20. And if you pledge those certain amounts, you get certain things. Yep. And since he likes to bring up old news, let's talk about the Kwame Kilpatrick incident that he supposedly made a website for donations to this particular person. And, the Detroit Free Press put this article up, and his name was mentioned in here. He should have been arrested for it because you cannot make a site for somebody like that and try to elicit funds. I don't, because technically the funds were not going to him. They were going to Charles Fitch. So this right here was a scam in its own right. And I think this article, if we push it enough, is going to come back to haunt Mr. Fitch. I really think he needs to start fessing up about all of his past scams and everything because he's hurting himself right now. He really is. He's, and by attacking me, it's not going anywhere. Okay, you can threaten all you want, but I've said it again. I've said it in videos. Until he comes down to Florida and makes good on what he is going to be branded as a coward and a maggot as far as I'm concerned. A maggot who is almost obsessed with me. I don't know why. I really don't know why, though.
Now remember what Tara told you. Don't fuel the fire and don't feed the trolls, because that's going to make it worse.
And not since that incident have I really fueled him over the last 2 weeks. I made my video, but I'm to a point where I'm just going to start doxing his comments, because he says, well, there's other people coming into my website who are writing this stuff. And I highly disagree with that. I think he is taking the sweet time, because the man has no life, to go in and write all of these third-person comments. Okay, only an author or someone writing a story would write in the third person, okay? Everybody else writes in the first person, which that's what he's been doing for the last 2.5 years. Just skewing videos, talk, bullying, harassing, meaning the 5 points that were pretty much, if he happens to get through his lawsuits with eBay and PayPal, he still has to fight us on those five issues, and we can zap him anytime. It does not matter. Yeah, he could say the same thing that we're talking to him. I'm like, whatever you want to call it. But the bottom line is that we're taking the very threats that you're writing. Okay, we're one step ahead of you. You don't want to back off, Mr. Fitch. We're not going to back off. Okay, we're not going to raise the white flag. We're not going to give in to your threats or demands. If you want this whole charade to stop, you need to take some better action than sitting there in front of your computer and typing out your frustrations to the entire world, to everybody that you're right. Because you know what? You're way out of line. You're out of context. And as far as I'm concerned, you're a complete idiotic, dumb moron. There is no hope for this man. No hope for him. And as much as I'd like to blow up and scream and yell and everything, because he says, well, he has a Jekyll and Hyde personality. Let me tell you something, Mr. Fitch. You have a 20-person, make it 30-person disorder, okay? And you and Chris Kennedy have also been attacked as well, too. And I want you guys to know the seriousness of this, okay? I know
I'm
you
not
guys...
going to take it anymore.
And you shouldn't have to take it anymore, Chris. In fact, you told me yesterday he subscribed to 2 of your new YouTube channels.
I blocked that silkworm's butt. That's all I can do, because YouTube won't allow me to report him. Because I need to comment or message from him.
Yeah, save all the messages and start putting them into Team Pause. Okay? He don't like Team Pause. He thinks it's fake. Well, buddy, it ain't fake. It's real. I've showed it on numerous...
You have to deal with it.
I've showed it on numerous shows. Our group is going to basically bay you back to prison. Real simple.
Yep, he's going to jail.
Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, baby? Mm-hmm.
If I have some time, I want to read you some of these comments, and I want you to envision the anger that this guy has. He says he's a critic. Well, a critic would not threaten anybody if they knew what was good for them. Okay, a critic would call it on the level of one level, but not go as far as, well, I'm going to shut you down. Okay, that's a threat. That's a threat, Mr. Fitch. Every time you say you're going to shut me down, you threaten me. Okay? It's flat out. But do I call the cops against you? No. Why? Because if the cops ain't going to listen to me, no one's going to listen to me. Okay? You don't have the protection of the cops. Your lawyer is not going to be able to protect you either. And I've been a winner since. I always will be. And it doesn't matter what this palooka, who weighs 450 pounds and still can't hack it in the real world, because he knows that he's got enemies all over the place. We're just small fry as far as I'm concerned. Me and Mr. DeMarco, we're small fry. He still has to go up against Rob Walchek, the eBay company, PayPal, Amazon, and anyone else who's filed complaints against him. So if he wants to continue dragging on a fight that he knows he's not going to be winning anytime soon, and wants to continue this drama, because that's all he's got to go on, then bring it on. I say bring on the madness, because he says I'm the madman of Oviedo, Florida. Well, hey, if it means any consolation, I could say that the people of Canton, Michigan should be fearing for their lives, Mr. Fitch, because you have been exposed by the Fox News people. Okay, I wasn't on the news. All right, and I sure as heck don't have cops bothering me every 5 to 10 weeks, wondering why. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of some. These are coming from him, so I just want you to know that.
All right, keep it brief because we're coming up on the end of the show here.
Okay, Susan Foster, and Chris, you know about this name, says, I just heard back from the Patreon staff via email. They are looking into the situation, a website about Jason. It's about time someone finally wrote me back about this matter. I am pleased to hear they're looking into the potential quick shut down the page. Well, Susan Foster, I got a news for you. The page hasn't been shut down, and if it does, I'll just make it back up again. It's really simple, okay? He says that I scared off Tara. Well, in your honest opinion, JK, did I do that?
Hell no.
Okay.
Exactly.
And
you're cordial.
And
you're smart. You're a gentleman.
I know I came on a little strong and everything.
Why would they do that to you like that?
Why would who? Who are you referring to? Fitch?
Yeah.
Fitch has nothing better to do to pin a crime against me. He is trying to. I mean, you go back with the mail fraud. You go back with the magazine subscriptions. Everything of that sort. The fake channels. He wants to convince everybody, including you and Chris Kennedy and anybody I associate with, that I am not someone to do business with, or not someone to contact with, not someone to have a conversation with. I may be from New York, and I may be hard and firm, but there's one thing that I always give, and that is respect to those who want it, okay? And right now, Mr. Fitch, you don't have my respect. You will never have my respect. You are beyond what you've done. You have gone too far with what you have done. And you know what? Until you stop, I'm not going to stop.
And it takes respect.
It takes one to get it back.
Yeah,
and he has to earn it. He must earn it.
And again,
right.
JK and CK, he has had numerous opportunities to come on your guys' shows, my show as well, and debate me. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, the coward is not going to do it. Why? Because he knows he's being recorded. And you know what? If he had nothing to hide, he would gladly come on here and start shooting his mouth off. But he's hiding something. He's guilty. He knows it. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to expose him for it. I have every effing right to do that. And there's nobody except him that's going to stop me. Not the police, not his lawyers, not the judge. He has to do it. And I guarantee you, coward, and hey, that's it.
Well, Jason, Chris, thank you for coming on my show.
Our pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, man. And as far as I know, once I start getting better, I'll have you guys back on again. But really, be careful out there. Keep doing what you're doing, CK.
Like I said, I keep my guard up.
Keep your guard up. Anything you see, any emails that come through with these fake channels of his, you post them to Team Pause. JK, the same thing goes with you. You're being harassed and threatened. We need to start uniting together and get on the same page with Joe.
Right.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming in. And
anytime,
get better.
Ross, anytime.
Get some chicken soup, man.
Yeah, I got to get some soup and some more. Stop blowing the schnoz,
Yeah. I'll see you when you get better, all right?
Thanks again, JK, for having me on. Take care of yourself, Chris.